Welcome back to another video. This is a bit of a different one. Nearly 1 year ago, on the 22nd of January, just a few days from when I post this video, it will be my 1 year anniversary on YouTube. 1 year ago, I sat just here pretty much like this in front of the GTR and spoke to the camera, made my first YouTube video. Spoke about some personal issues and an idea I had to make these videos, post them to YouTube to help get me out of my comfort zone, rebuild my self-confidence, and then I would also be able to look back on these videos as memories for years to come. The feedback I've received over the past year has been great. Some of my friends don't even mind when I'm filming now, and some even want to get involved, which I love. This has definitely turned into a side project or hobby. The hustle to get a video edited in a timely manner can be quite stressful. It is very time consuming at times to get done in and around day-to-day life. But the feeling of accomplishment when I finish editing a video, export it, upload it to YouTube, that feeling is unreal. Then over time, being able to see the views continuing to go up, I mean, that's great. It's also a really nice feeling to know that, or to think that people might be interested in what I'm doing or my projects or what I've got going on. For example, my T37 video now has over 4,000 views, which just blows my mind. I can't even gauge. I don't even know what to think. I've definitely had to overcome some self-confident issues. Definitely got out of my comfort zone a few times. Walking around with a GoPro at arm's length, like a selfie stick, can be quite daunting, awkward and or embarrassing when you're out in public. But as time goes on, I guess you definitely get used to it. It becomes a bit easier, but still very uncomfortable. 2024, going to be a big year. The GTR is going to be back. Super excited for that. Can't wait for that to be finished. Coming up on paint at the moment, slowly getting there, still chipping away at it. Still got the motor still at the engine builders, then got to assemble the motor and put that back in. I want to tire up some wiring and stuff before we do that. So still a bit to do on the GTR, and there'll be videos around that. Once that's done, I'd really like to dive into the Barra 8.6. If you haven't seen any photos or videos on that, basically putting a Barra into a Toyota 8.6, cut the firewall, cut the tunnel, recessing the motor as far back as possible. I still need to buy a gearbox. I'd really like to get the motor and gearbox fixed into that, so I know the location, and then we can start on the roll cage and the rear radiator setup. Personally, I've never done that kind of stuff, so I'm super excited to get into that. I also have some friends with cars in the works that we need to dive back into this year. Cool cars that will probably be on the channel, out and about with me, so it'd be cool to get into their cars with them and hopefully document some of that. My car trailer is in desperate need of an overhaul. That needs some new mud guards and a coat of paint. So all of this is on the cards for 2024. I did ask for some questions. When will the GTR be back? Just touched on that. So definitely this year. Like I said, nearly ready for paint, and then we'll get it back and start getting that back into that. There'll be lots of videos around that. What's the plan with the 8.6? Like I just mentioned, putting an XR6 turbo engine or a turbo Barra engine into an 8.6, trying to recess it back as much as possible, try and get a good sort of weight balance in the car. With the roll cage and the rear radiator setup, obviously to be a dedicated track car, low and wide, cool styling, and then I hopefully have similar or the same livery as Jackal's R34, and just have a couple cars out there where we can bump doors together. How much power do you want to make out of the Barra 8.6? To be honest, 500 horsepower would probably be enough. 600 would be cool to say that it makes, but 500 to 600 horsepower is probably where I'm aiming. I'll get a little bit of a bigger turbo than what they would have factory, run it on ethanol, etc., and it should make 500 to 600 horsepower, so I'd be happy with that. Do you want to go back to Japan? Yes, definitely want to go back to Japan. Really would have liked to have gone this year, but just being realistic with spending money on the GTR to finish that and needing to buy a gearbox and make a start on this, 2024 wasn't going to be the year. Hopefully 2025. I'd really like to go for Tokyo Auto Salon and Ars Day. If I can ever get back and watch a Matsuri, if I can afford to buy a car and drive a Matsuri. But yeah, definitely Tokyo Auto Salon and Ars Day are on the cards. To see some of the coolest Japanese styled cars in the world. I mean, I'd love to do that. I'd just like to say a special thank you to everyone that gets involved, people that watch, my friends that help put a positive spin on things. I mean, it really means a lot to me, and I really enjoy doing this. So I am definitely going to continue to do this. So thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.